What's going on? It's Wednesday.
Hello, my name's Mel, welcome to my world, and for those of you that are new here, I live full time in this Mercedes Sprinter camper van, and that's pretty much what I make videos about. And today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday, where I answer your questions to the best of my ability. So if you've got any questions for me, then please do leave them in the comments section of this video, and I will do my best to answer your questions next week. Now, before I begin today's waffle, I want to share with you where I've parked last night. I actually did some wild camping. Take a look at where I am. It is absolutely beautiful. So here I am in the heart of Kent. It is stunning here, and it was so quiet here last night you could literally hear a squirrel fart. And the reason I'm here today is because I'm waiting for my son to turn up, and I thought whilst I wait for my son and before we go walk his dog in the beautiful Cromer Park, I would quickly film Waffle on a Wednesday. Now these posts up here look pretty new. I wonder what sort of sign they're going to be putting up there. Let's hope it's not no overnight parking, because like I say, it was super quiet here last night, and I think I would really like to come back here again in the future. It is absolutely perfect for a one night stopover. It's even got a toilet and a cafe. Right, let's jump back in the van. Well, I'm going to have to finish Waffle on a Wednesday later on because I've been joined with Bill. Say hello, Bill, to the internet. He's a handful. Hang on. My boy's just parking his van. Come here. Come here. Up here. Bill. Bill. Come here. God, he's super strong. Look at this. Strong, isn't he? Yeah. I wanted to see how long you were going to be.
Okay, come on, go. Yeah.
Right. So this is my boy's pride and joy. Take a look at this. How proud am I? My son's very first van. Look at that. Has he left it unlocked? Oh, yeah. He said the windows blacked out. Look at that, what a picture. Father and son. I'm so proud. And there's my little boy there. A not so small dog. Great, isn't he? Wow, my son's dog Bill really is a bag of beans. It was really good fun walking him around the park, and really nice to see my son as well. So thank you, John, for joining me today. And later on today I'm going to visit my daughter. But for now, let's carry on with this week's Waffle on a Wednesday. And the first question comes from Kat Kenkin. What do you do with your trinkets, Mel? And Kat is referring to my metal detecting finds. Well, Kat, all the treasure that I find I actually keep and put it in my personal collection. All the lead that I find, like fishing weights, I used to give away back to the fishermen, and they were always very grateful. But now I've started saving all the fishing weights so that I can then recycle them and turn them into diving weights. And I got this idea from DirtFishMish, and she's a metal detectorist in Australia. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. So if you're into metal detecting, go check out DirtFishMish. I'm sure she would appreciate it. Now, talking about Australia, here's a question concerning Australia, and that comes from Mark Bradley. Hi Mel, great videos as always. I know you have said about going to Australia, but can't remember if you had been or not. And have you been gold detecting in Australia? Well, Mark, yes, I've frequented Australia quite often in the past. I've actually got family in Australia, and I used to go there pretty much every Christmas, but I've not been for quite some time now. And I actually started metal detecting after my last visit to Australia, and I would absolutely love to go back to Australia and do a bit of prospecting as well, and that is on my to-do lists in the future. Plus it'd be good to catch up with all my family out there and my friends as well. So if that's something that interests you, then please do keep watching my videos, and hopefully one day I will get back to Australia, and you never know, I might even find a nugget or two. Thanks for the great question. Now this next question comes from a YouTube channel member of mine. This is Phil Culp. Thank you, Phil, for being a member of my channel. I hope you're enjoying watching these videos with no adverts. And if you're interested in becoming a member of my channel, there's always a link in the description of this video. And as a channel member, you get to see my videos early and ad-free, just like Phil does. And obviously, if you've got any questions for me, I will read them out. So let's get on with this question from Phil Culp. Hi Mel, curious as to what 12 volt circuit breaker you use. I have just watched a YouTube van builder condemning his, as when disconnected by the breaker he still had power on both sides of his circuit. I've just installed two. Now I'm considering changing mine. Your thoughts please, I appreciate your input. Phil. Well Phil, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't use those circuit breakers, the one that's supposed to trip automatically when over certain amps are drawn. I use the old-fashioned fuses. A fuse will blow if it's overloaded. Those circuit breakers I just do not trust. I never have trusted them, and I've never used them. I would much rather just use good old-fashioned fuses that actually physically blow when there's an overload on the circuit. They work 100% and they are 100% safe. And I always say, keep it simple, keep it safe, and there's nothing more simple than a fuse that blows rather than those trip out switches that don't trip out when they're supposed to. Good question Phil, and thank you for being a member of my channel. I really do appreciate your support. How much did you win on your lotto ticket that was on the cupboard? That comes from NG Cutting Services. Well, NG Cutting Services, I didn't win a bean from that lotto ticket that was pinned to my cupboard, but I did win the lotto a little while ago, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it up here. It's well worth a watch. You'll be surprised what I brought with my winnings. I love you too. So should we say 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Alright then, I'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Alright.
We'll get a burrito and go to Boots.
Okay, bye.
Alright, love you, bye.
Love you.
Bye. Bye. Well, now that the sun's gone down, it's turned a little bit chilly in here, which brings me on to my next question about my wood burning stove. Mel, my wife and I have been fans of yours for a couple of years. We have built our own Sprinter. We used your advice as well as a couple of other YouTubers. We just have one question really. Does that small wood burning stove put out enough heat for the coldest days? With the current price of diesel continuing to rise, I dread the thought of what it may cost next winter. Thanks from Lloyd and Trisha. Well, Lloyd and Trisha, I have to say straight away, I absolutely love my little wood burner. This is a cubic mini wood stove. They do two models. They do a cub, which is this one, and they also do a grizzly, which is slightly bigger. And the reason I went for the cub is because I was actually worried it would get too hot in my van. And boy, am I glad I did actually go for the smaller one, because this does in fact heat my van remarkably quickly, and it does in fact keep it nice and toasty in here. But I do have to have this fan on top to circulate that air, that hot air, otherwise all the hot air just simply rises and then the floor of my van is quite cold. But once this is going and I'm up in my bed, it is lovely and toasty. I've got absolutely no regrets whatsoever. But I do think that if ever I bought a bigger van, I would actually fit the grizzly rather than the cub, for just one simple reason, and that is because this is so small, I do find it quite hard to actually cook anything on top of here. Whereas cubic mini wood stove grizzly, they actually make an oven that fits on top of here as well, so you can actually turn your stove into an oven. And I really like the idea of that. As you know, I do like a Fray Bentos pie and roast potatoes. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, I might upgrade this to a grizzly later on down the line. But for now, I'm more than happy with this. And if you are thinking about buying a cubic mini wood stove, I do actually have an affiliation with them, and I put a link to their website in every video. You'll find that link down below. and I do earn a small commission, so thank you if you do actually order one. Just be warned that on their website this works out around about £250, but you have got shipping and import duty on top of that, plus TNT charge you for each parcel. They charge you a handling fee, so you're better off ordering everything in one go, so it all goes into one parcel. The stove, the flue, all the fittings, make sure you order everything in one go, and that way it saves on that small cost from TNT, which I think was about, from memory, it was about £28, which does really put the price up if you order the stove and then a couple of days later, like I did when I realised I couldn't actually get a flue, because this is quite a specialist flue for this stove. I then ordered the flue separately, I then ordered the liner separately, and then the fittings as well, I ordered those separately, and that really did put the price up. So please, if you do order one of these stoves, make sure you order everything at the same time, so it comes in as hopefully one big parcel. That way you'll save on the shipping costs as well. So long story short, yeah, I absolutely love this, and even though it cost a fortune, I've absolutely no regrets. And like you say, with the rising cost of fuel, having a wood burner in your camper van makes perfect sense. It is absolutely brilliant. Thanks for the great question. My question is, do you believe van life can survive rising cost in fuel prices and the government's plans to ban the sale of diesel and petrol vehicles, which could increase the fuel price even more in the future? And that comes from Xander. Well, absolutely, I think van life can survive, and it is most definitely sustainable despite the rising fuel cost, for the simple reason that as fuel prices increase, so does the cost of living. Everything increases in price. Food, clothes, all the products you use and consume, everything goes up in price. And along with the cost of living, so will the cost of renting a property go up. So if you find yourself in a position like me where the only option is to rent a property and buying a property is completely out of the question, then living in a van is definitely the way to go, and I highly recommend anybody try it at least once. After all, a lot of people once a year pack up all their possessions, jam it into a tiny little camper van, and they go off on their holidays for 2 weeks. Or a week even. So why not try it for a year? You never know, you might even like it. Go on, give it a go, you know you want to. And on that note, I'm going to say, if you've got any questions similar to that for me, then please do leave them in the comments section of this video. And don't forget to help me out, give this video a thumbs up. And if by chance you are new to my channel, then please do consider subscribing. I really appreciate your support. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.